Follow us on Twitter, INSiiGHTS.
Yeah.
2 I's in the middle. INSiiGHTS.
All right, y'all.
Rick Brown, the man about town, the man who knocks him down, the man with all the sound, hits jumpers from all around. What's up, Rick?
What's happening, Coach? What's going on, my brother?
You the man. You know, we still trying to hang out in our favorite time of the season. That thing gonna come to a close now for us.
Oh, very quickly, man. And each day passes, the sadder I get because of this.
No, Rick, you didn't say each day the sadder you get.
Man, it's crucial, man. It's crucial because when they start playing one shining moment, a tear just gonna drip down my eye. Exactly.
Now, one shining moment really does have a way of getting to you. Now, I kind of get you on that, Rick. That one shining moment really kind of gets to you. But for you, it goes to your next favorite season. Spring baseball.
Oh, yeah. What about thinking?
Oh, he busts out and start laughing then. I understand why though.
Man, when your teams are horrible, man, it's hard to get really excited. Now the Orioles are good. The Natties, it's tough. It's tough being a native of DC and cheering for DC teams. Tough.
Well, it's not a lot better being a Cuyahoga County, where the Final Four is being held, and that's interesting because there were also some negotiations going on about Haslam wanted to build an indoor stadium, and now the city council is trying to pass a law where he can't leave the city of Cleveland. Mind you, he was getting ready to buy land right at the airport in Cleveland. They want it downtown Cleveland, but they don't want, Cleveland's not a wealthy city, so they're not in a position to really help him fund the costs, and so they're mad because he gave $500 million to purchase a partial ownership with the Bucks. So they figure if he's putting $500 million with the Bucks, he could have put it in the stadium. But if he puts the indoor stadium at Brook Park, which you won't even know you're in Brook Park, they're that close together. Only people from really from Cleveland know that. He's pretty much paying the whole cost, which is $2.5 billion.
With a B, billion.
Billion. And they're mad because where the stadium is built now, Haslam gets no parking. He gets none of that. That goes to the city and that type of thing. But if he builds it on his own land, he's going to control all of that. Parking, indoor, he can have other activities. He can make his money back now. So why are you going to get mad at a man for spending his own money?
He deserves it. Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah. So who knows? We'll see what happens. But we got so much basketball to cover. But since it is your time of the year, the baseball,
Baseball to some is still America's pastime. While the NFL has surpassed the sport in the States, it's still that time of the year for peanuts, Apple Jacks, and a nice cold one as Major League Baseball officially got underway last week. And it wouldn't be the start of any sports season if there wasn't some sort of controversy. So let's get it out of the way with the Dodgers' Shohei Ohtani. The Japanese star found himself in the middle of a mess when his interpreter, Ippei Mizuhari, was fired after questions of wire transfers from Ohtani's account being sent to a bookmaking operation came to light. While betting is legal in many states, it is still illegal in California. And we're not talking about a little bit of money, but $4.5 million sent from Ohtani's account to this bookmaking operation. At first, a spokesman said Ohtani was just paying off Mizuhara's gambling debts. Later, the story was changed to it was theft. Reports have Mizuhari making bets on international soccer and other sports, but never on baseball. Mizuhari also said Ohtani doesn't gamble. There's a ton of questions that still need to be answered. We'll see how it pans out. Meanwhile, Ohtani, at the end of Monday, was batting an average .267 and had yet to hit a home run in his first season with LA. One person did have something to say. Pete Rose, who was banned from baseball from gambling, the hit king Pete Rose, this is what he said.
Hey guys, Matt Thrash here, enjoying some March Madness with my great friend Pete Rose. And we were talking about the current goings on in baseball right now, and Pete wanted to mention something.
Well, back in the 70s and 80s, I wish I'd have had an interpreter. I'd be scot-free.
There you have it from the Hit King.
Stay tuned. There's more to that story, I'm sure. Moving on. It may not be the return of the Mac, but the New York Yankees have come out of the gates with something to prove. The Yankees started the season 4-0 after sweeping the Houston Astros. Newcomer Juan Soto has a game-winning home run and a game-winning knock during this run and was named AL Player of the Week. At this point, they even look stronger than the 5-2 Dodgers, who was a favorite to win the World Series. It's way too early, but the Yankees couldn't do any better to start the season. And thank God it's early for teams like the New York Mets, Chicago White Sox, and Miami Marlins, who have yet to crack the win column as of Monday. Now, you can't win the World Series in April, but you surely can take yourself out of contention. These teams will need to turn things around quickly. Speaking of World Series, the champion Texas Rangers have gotten off to a solid 3-1 start. While their current matchup with playoff opponent Tampa Bay Rays is too early in the long season to make any definitive conclusions, it may be worth taking a peek. Get comfortable, folks. It's already shaping up to be a wild season.
Sports Diva, what's up? Late, but what's up?
Hey, Diva.
Hey, Ohtani. That thing with Pete Rose that night, that was pretty funny there. I said, wish he had an interpreter. There was so many ways he could have went with that. I was scared to see which way he was gonna go. But he said, wish he had an interpreter. Oh, that was pretty good. Oh, and Tampa Bay is still having a really good club, but back to Ohtani, he's hitting 260 something. For some, they could hang out for a while at 260 in that range. But man, he's an incredible athlete to pitch like he does and hit like he does. He's just short of remarkable.
Indeed. I mean, and it is something. It is surprising that he started off slow. For him. and no homers, and you wonder if the pressure or all of the distractions is getting to him.
That would be something that would be very, very believable. Very believable. That you could believe, that type of pressure would be on it,
All right, Coach, we got you squared away, all the way out to the edge of the sidewalk there. Coming on around. Let me zoom out as much as I can. But we're looking good in the front. Let me whip you around. And you can see where it's starting to dry. That's what it's pretty much gonna look like as we keep going. Take you down sidewalk there. That's pretty much what you'll be looking at. Now you got some water here.
Great job, Earl J. We appreciate you. Y'all need to give him a call. You really do. And he's affordable. Hey, we got to support our own. Those people who support you, you got to support them. Reach out to Earl. And insights with prayers to the Hankerson family. Earl losing his mom. He just buried a nephew not too long ago. I mean, it's, having lost my mom and dad, you kind of be lost, not kind of be lost. You lost during this time. So special prayers and shout out to the Hankerson family. Condolences from the INSiiGHTS family. Those on the air and those off the air. We with you, brother Earl. We with you. Yeah, I'm going to get this men's Final Four. Once again, we're just having this conflict between the men and the women. But this is what I'm going to do. We're going to lead off with the piece that Rick has about the men's Final Four, but we're going to come back about the women because the women have evolved into something far more than just basketball. And that's the part of it that bothers me. But with the men right now, outside of Calipari and the pressure he's under for all those that he gets, it's strictly about basketball. Sports Diva, thoughts and prayers to the family. But we're going to hit this from Rick with the men's Final Four.
By the time the clock strikes midnight to end Monday, we should have a men's NCAA Division I national champion, as one team will have its one shining moment, being crowned in Glendale, Arizona. Before that, however, we have 4 teams standing: a defending champion, a school known for its football prowess, a team that is fighting for redemption, and a squad that continues to defy the odds. Let's see who these Fab Four are. Winners of the West bracket were the Crimson Tide of Alabama. Known for being a football powerhouse, the Tide showed they are well equipped on the hardwood as well, beating number 1 ranked North Carolina as well as number 6 Clemson. The Midwest region champion Purdue Boilermakers are still playing with a chip on their shoulders. After becoming just the second team seeded number 1 to lose to a 16 seed last year, they are still on pace to do what that first team to lose to a 16 seed did in the Virginia Cavaliers, and that's capture the national championship the following season. The South Region champion North Carolina State Wolfpack are still winning. Seeded 10th entering the ACC tournament, The Pack won 5 straight to make it to the NCAAs, and now has added 4 more to reach their first Final Four since the title run in 1983. Last but certainly not least, the East Region and defending national champion UConn Huskies are rolling. The closest any team has come to beating them has been Northwestern, losing by 17 points. And no team has scored more than 58 points on the Huskies in this tournament. Let's look at the matchups. In the first game is Purdue against NC State. Both teams are throwback to the old days where big men posted up on offense and defended the paint defensively. Purdue's 7'4" center Zach Edey will Purdue the victory over Tennessee, going for 40 points and 16 rebounds. He is averaging 30 points and 16.3 rebounds in this tournament. For NC State, DJ Burns may not be 7 feet tall, but dominated like one against Duke, going for 29 points on 13 of 19 shooting. Purdue would like to play through Edey, while North Carolina State will try to test the mettle of the Boilermakers. In the second game, get your track shoes on for UConn and Alabama. The Tide are the top scoring team in the country. They like to get teams in transition off of misses and make baskets alike. Often like getting into the offensive action early in the shot clock. The Huskies, meanwhile, can play up-tempo or they can work their half-court game. 5 players average in double figures, but it's on the defensive end where they suffocate teams. Foul trouble could be a factor as the Huskies like to play with their starters for most of the game. When it's all said and done on Saturday, the winners will meet Monday for the title game, and we will have our national champion.
Man, you had me wondering all that silence in the opening. I was like, is it working?
Testing. 1, 2, testing.
Oh, boy, we got Alabama playing with Chris Parker from Florida High. He hadn't played much. But keeping up with the locals, Trey Donaldson from Auburn has entered the transfer portal. Interesting. In the transfer portal, we have a couple of FAMU basketball players in the transfer portal. We can't afford to linger making a selection for that basketball coach. You know, we did that with football, and I still think that, you know, the program's up and running, but we don't know how well it's going to run because it'd be extremely difficult to me for them to be able to go through what they did and have a successful year this year coming up. We had our fingers crossed. But the reality is when you take a long time to get a coach, you lose players and you lose the opportunity to bring in other players. So, but the men's basketball is about basketball, even though I really don't have a favorite. I guess all mine already lost. That's why my bracket is busted. And I'm in last place. And not even close. But that, you know, so it's the men's bracket has been all of that.
You know, it's some interesting teams in here. I mean, Purdue, that got bounced in the first round, they were pretty good all season. And Big Boy, he has put up himself, even though he's only played for 9 years for basketball. He didn't play his freshman year in high school. So he looks like a big fundamental. He reminds me of Tim Duncan so much, man, just because of the way he moves.
You think so? I think Tim was a lot more fluid than he was.
Yeah, but
he was. Remember Tim? They did call him Big Fundamental.
Yeah.
That's what Shaq called him, Big Fundamental.
But they're an interesting team, and I don't know if NC State will be able to handle that height. But hey, they've handled everything else that's been thrown at them. So you can't count them out. Not at this point.
Didn't they win with Jim Valvano?
For real.
Five slammer jammer.
For real.
So you got two different contrasting styles with big boys. You got the big Frankenstein, Eddie Munster, big man, and then you got Zach Randolph on the post, a little dancer and a little smooth, not real athletic, but real hard to stop. So that's going to be a little interesting just to watch that big man matchup.
Yeah. And it's going to be interesting how the refs if they let him play or not. How tight they call the game. I'm going to be real interested to see that.
Yeah. I kind of agree with you there. You know, I really, really do. So that's going to be interesting to see now.
Final Four action will be broadcast on ESPN Friday night. The winners of the semifinal games will advance to Sunday's national championship game, which will be on ABC. Here's a closer look at the teams that remain in the hunt. Top-seeded South Carolina's Gamecocks' run of perfection has extended into March Madness. Since entering the tournament with a record of 32-0, the Gamecocks have ripped off another 4 straight wins to reach the Final Four. In the Elite Eight, South Carolina posted a 70-58 win over Oregon State, missing the cover as a 15.5-point favorite. This is the program's 4th straight trip to the Final Four and 6th overall, with national titles in 2017 and 2022. With Camila Cardoso declaring for the WNBA, can Coach Staley keep the team focused? Iowa Hawkeyes entered the tournament at 4 and riding a 6-game winning streak. The winning ways have continued with convincing victories over Holy Cross, West Virginia, and Colorado to reach the Elite Eight and a date with LSU. Senior guard Caitlin Clark continues to lead the way on offense. She has topped the team in scoring for all 3 victories, averaging 29.3 points per game along the way. Iowa reached the Final Four last year before falling to LSU in the title game. Has Iowa recovered from their emotional win over LSU? The UConn Huskies entered tournament play on a 9-game winning streak at 29-5. After a dominant win over Jackson State in the opening round, the club defeated Syracuse and Duke to reach the Elite Eight. Junior guard Paige Buckers has led the way in scoring, averaging 28 points per game for the 3 victories. UConn last reached the Final Four in 2022 before losing in the finals to South Carolina. The program has racked up 11 national titles, last winning in 2016. Paige has the ability to carry UConn to the championship. Can she prove that overlooking her is a mistake? NC State Wolfpack entered March Madness with a record of 27-6 after dropping a 55-51 decision to Notre Dame in the ACC tournament final. The club has since won 4 straight to reach the Final Four, taking down Texas in the Elite Eight 76-66. Junior guard Asiaha James has led the team in scoring for all 4 victories. She's averaging 24.3 points for the tournament to date. This is the program's second time reaching the Final Four, with the first happening in 1998. Can the Wolfpack conquer the herd? Questions abound, but answers are coming soon.
Yes, sir, Rick. Yes, sir.
Good point of it, whether Caitlin and Iowa can get back up to another tough game. Because if they thought LSU was tough, yeah, UConn had something to prove almost. Because they haven't been in the final so long. They haven't won the final so long.
Yeah, Paige is 7 years, I think. Yeah, Paige has been hurt pretty bad. But yeah, I see you, sports leader. Women basketball Final Four going to be in my neck of the woods. That's absolutely right. But you see, I ain't going to be there. Try to get me to suggest where the INSiiGHTS family goes. You know, I just be trying to get to that corned beef spot. Woo, boy, everybody from Cleveland know about that corned beef spot. So I ain't going to even tell y'all about it. But it's a place to be. But there's no real good place to go. This is Mickey Clayton, the coach from INSiiGHTS Sports. Boy, y'all know I love me some barbecue. I found the bestest barbecue sauce. It's online at BBQ Jank, BBQ Jank, the Jank. Boy, I'm messing around with that stuff. I no longer have to mess around trying to make my own. I'll put that in a pot, put it on my meat. I'll claim it, but it's from the Jank, the official barbecue sauce of Inside Sports. You better order some for your next tailgate early.
1, 2, talk that talk.
Let's delve into the captivating parallels between two iconic basketball matchups. The 1979 NCAA championship game featuring Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, and the Elite Eight matchup between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. These games left indelible marks on the sport and its viewers, impacting both men's and women's basketball. Those conflicts on the court were both good and bad. Many people believe the Indiana State-Michigan State contest created a rivalry that continued and became more intense in the NBA. There are those that believe that the competing personalities breathed fresh air into a league that was struggling back then. The NBA was viewed in a derogatory manner by some in the media that tired of the abuses by the athletes, drugs, and the violence perpetrated by some. Larry Bird proved he could compete against anyone and everyone. He did so in outstanding fashion. Magic was exactly the same, and each dominated their sides of the country, Bird in the East and Magic in the West. The good is that these two icons of basketball allowed the league to flourish. The popularity of men's basketball erupted from this rivalry, and the NBA absolutely evolved into an icon sport. The 2023 Women's NCAA Championship game between Iowa and LSU spurred interest in the women's game to a fever pitch that continued an upward trend into the 2024 women's basketball season. Much like the iconic rivalry between Bird and Magic, supporters were largely split among racial lines. The 1979 NCAA Final had the highest Nielsen ratings in American basketball history. The Iowa vs. LSU game averaged 12.3 million viewers, setting a women's basketball viewership record. These numbers for both contests are eye-popping and significant. We are hopeful these numbers follow this rivalry into the WNBA, with the same results the men's college game did for the NBA. Rhett Butlerin in a story in the Shadow League stated, "Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark might not be the new version of Magic and Bird, but they show that not much has changed since those two played, and split the nation between blacks and whites. We continue to hope that athletics does what it has done for years. Increase a better understanding of diverse cultures and ideology. If not with the spectators, then with the participants."
Yeah, you can wish that, Coach, but people will be people, and there's still going to be, no matter what, that racial line, that line always separates us. It's been separating us for forever. And I'm just not optimistic enough to think that's going to change. And it's a shame.
Well, it's even when you saw the picture of Caitlin Clark with "You Can't See Me," man, you had to search to find that picture. But Angel pointing that finger and all of that was on every pair or picture of the pair. That's the picture that the media used. And it's so blatantly obvious. But the bad part about it is a number of people, black and white, like to watch Caitlin play. You know, I like a jump shooter. And see, I'm just kind of partial to UConn and Paige Beckers. My prejudice stems around a man coaching women's sports and being as successful as he has been, and as disciplined as he requires his girls to be, as his team to be, and how Paige just goes so doggone hard. You know, I just was pulling for her to come back. I liked her and admired her before she got hurt. But what she's done coming back is just this short of remarkable. So I like watching UConn. And I like her.
What about South Carolina?
I didn't say I didn't like her. I said I like UConn. I didn't say that's the only team I like. Mr. Try to look for controversy. That ain't what I said.
There you go with controversy.
1, 2, talk that talk.
With the life that I
year, I want to show a light on Black women. They don't get the media coverage that they deserve. They've given so much to the sport and the community and society as a whole, and their value is undeniable. And the WNBA last season, the postseason awards, 80% of the winners were Black, but they got half the amount of coverage as the white athletes. So I think it's time for change. Sports media holds the key to storylines. Sports media and sponsors tell us who is valuable, and you have told the world that I matter today, and everyone who voted, thank you. But I think we should use this power together to also celebrate Black women. So to Maria Taylor, Robin Roberts, Maya Moore, Odyssey Alexander, to all the incredible Black women in my life on my teams, to Breonna Taylor and all the lives lost, and to those names who have not yet learned, but I hope to share, I stand behind you, and I'll continue to follow you and follow your lead and fight for you guys. So
I don't really get to stand up for myself. I mean, I have great teammates. I have a great support system. I got my hometown. I got my family that stands up for me. I don't really get to speak out on things just because I just try to ignore, and I just try to stand strong. Like, I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized. I've been threatened. I've been so many things, and I've stood strong every single time. And I just try to stand strong for my teammates because I don't want them to see me down and, like, not be there for them. So I just want them to always just know, like, I'm still a human. Like, all this has happened since I won the national championship, and I said the other day I haven't had peace since then. And it sucks, but I still wouldn't change. I wouldn't change anything, and I would still sit here and say, like, I'm unapologetically me. I'm going to always leave that mark and be who I am and stand on that. And hopefully the little girls that look up to me, and hopefully I give them some type of inspiration that, hopefully it's not this hard and all the things that come at you, but keep being who you are. Keep waking up every day. Keep being motivated, staying who you are, staying 10 toes, don't back down, and just be confident.
That's one of the reasons I stand by Paige. I came in 2021 with the ESPN Awards. And Angel has caught a lot of heat for that emotional interview that she did. That I really think it was unfair for them to really crucify her for that, saying that she didn't take losing with class like Caitlin did, this, that, and the other. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
They've already painted them as evil squad.
I'm sorry?
They already painted them as evil squad. I think UCLA, reporter for UCLA had to apologize for calling the LSU squad evil. Something to
what they call them, the dirty debutantes or something?
Yeah, what kind of shit is that? It makes no sense. I mean, as a former newspaper writer, it pisses me off because even though you're trying to pump up your team and always good and evil, that's always a good story. But sometimes people go too far. That was over the line.
Well, Rick, tell me something. You worked at a very good newspaper. Do they print the stories without editing them? They allow Rick Brown to publish his story without editing it and then come back later and edit it after it's been published?
You have editors. But if you're someone who has been around for a while, you get more rope. You get lever. And they correct later with an apology, with a retraction. That's in the most rare cases. But there are editors who read your stuff, but not. I've never had an editor like say no, you
say
can't
no, you
write
can't
that,
write
or
that,
no,
or
that's
no, that's
too far.
too far.
After the fact,
After the fact,
they may
they
come
may
to me and
come
say,
to me and
"Ooh,
say, "Ooh,
was that what you
was
meant?"
that what you meant?"
And 9 times out of 10,
9 times
I
out of
say
10,
yeah,
I say, "Yeah,"
and explained
and
it to
explained
them
it to them
the way I
the
meant
way
it.
I meant it.
So,
So,
so no, coach.
so no, coach.
He probably didn't
He
have
probably didn't
anyone
have anyone
with power
with power
because they're copy
because they're
editors
copy
making sure
editors
that
making sure that
you're spelling
you're
everything
spelling
right
everything
and the
right
grammar
and
makes
the
sense.
grammar makes sense.
But if they
But
cut
if
your
they cut
story,
your story,
then they go catch
then
on.
they go catch on.
You know, they can be
from
the
the
phone
from the reporter himself.
reporter, and
Reporter,
maybe because
and
the reporters
because the
will say,
reporters will
"Why the
say,
hell they cut
"Why
my
the hell they
story?"
cut my story?"
You know, give
You
me a
know, give
chance.
me a chance.
Talk to me.
Talk to me.
Don't just cut
Don't just cut
my story.
my story.
Well,
So,
isn't it a little odd for him to come back and say that he didn't know that his words would have the kind of effect that they would? And I'm like, you're a professional journalist that's been with the LA Times for years. For you to say that, I mean, that's a really hollow apology.
the only thing
The
I will
only thing I
give
will give
him a little
him a
leeway
little
on
leeway
is depending on how long he's been there, and if he doesn't understand the power of
power
social
of
media
social media
and the
and
era that
the
we're
era
in
that
now,
we're in.
where any and everything you say
Say
is second guessed
second
and
guess
can be
and
questioned
question
in this cancel
this cancer
society,
society.
he may not
He
have
may not
known
know
that it was that powerful,
that power.
but he probably did as well.
And see, I think the LA Times let it go knowing that it was going to create a furor, and it sold some more tickets. I mean, sold some more copies. And then it's easy for them to wash their hands and make him issue an apology on it or edit it after the fact. And even when the UCLA coach apologized for her role in the fact that she said that she pushed the story out, she claims she didn't read it. She just saw it was about UCLA and she was trying to push the program and just sent it out. Sports Diva said he's trying to get in front of that lawsuit. Kind of difficult to sue a reporter, isn't it, Rick?
If you ask Kim Mulkey, she has the power to do it.
Okay, speaking of Kim, what do you think about that story with her?
You know, I was just reading that story today, and I got halfway through it. I don't think it's good reporting when you don't talk to the source. So, like, if I'm doing a story on you,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to go all around you to get the story, I don't like those. I want to talk to you. You're what now? You may be a hard ass, which you usually are, and don't want to talk to this report. But still, there's another way. You have to. That's tough. Yeah, and I've been in that situation time and time again. But I do not like writing features on someone without talking to that person. I think you're going behind their back. It just doesn't make it doesn't feel right. Not for me.
Well, it also seemed that he did try to reach Kim, but she wouldn't talk to him. But even when I read the story, I mean, a lot of it we kind of knew already, but I won't say it was a hatchet job, but it wasn't meant to embellish her any. And as she said, there was a reason that it came out the time that it came out. You know, they thought that, I'm sure that it would get more clicks and a little bit more. During that time, they probably felt it wasn't good to run it in football season.
No, it's facts. Definitely facts, Coach. But it's not about clicks all the time either, you know. And features, we're all human. So features glorifying everyone without telling the imperfections is not a true feature. I think you have to tell or try to tell the whole story, or at least show that this person puts on their pants the same way I do. They're not holier than thou. None of us are. Now, do some reporters take advantage of that? Sure they do. Some reporters are stupid like that. They're trying to get to that next level. But veterans know that people make mistakes. And what I love about this country and sports in general is even when you make a mistake or you don't do as good and you come back from it and succeed. That's even a better story. That's the American way. So they say. So I don't think it was a hatchet job, and no, it didn't paint her in the most favorable light. But I learned some things about her, and I say, hey, I see why she's a great coach and where she got that mentality from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they wanted to paint her as that hard ass, and a lot of the coaches get perceived that way. So I mean, that's something that is not unusual. We've heard that before. But there's also another side that you have people that come all the way across the country and leave programs, and they want to play for her. They leave successful programs. Van Lith left Louisville and came to play for her. And she was a shooting guard, and she tried to transition to playing point guard. So, it's a reason why she gets those transfers. There was another one that spoke up. The rapper spoke up about it. She said, "Y'all don't know Angel Lee. She's the person that motivates me, that encourages me, that keeps me going." And she caught a lot of heat about the NIL money and the promotion stuff she was doing, and she was a model and she was doing this, and you can't get mad at her for living a life. I can't say that I was a big fan of hers. I didn't have anything against her. I wasn't a big fan until she started getting the heat that she was getting. And I kind of stood by her right to be able to do what she wanted to do. And I still stand by that. But as she began to take more heat for her beliefs and being who she is, I became more sympathetic towards her and wished for her the best. I still like a jump shooter. I don't care what color they are. I still like a jump shooter. You can put that thing in the basket. And I like that. I got a lot of respect. I had 3 daughters, and man, I couldn't make me a jump shooter out of none of them. All of them could shoot, but they were such unselfish players. I remember we walked in the gym. We got lost getting into a game. They said, "Man, you hadn't seen Mickey. You hadn't seen KK." I said, "No, what the man KK? She hit 7, 8 threes in the first half." I said, "What?" They said, "Oh yeah, sit down, Dad. You get ready to see a show." Man, she ain't take another shot the rest of the game. I'm like, "Well, KK, why you stop shooting?" "I only shot because we were behind. Once we got the lead, I had shooters." Okay.
True point guard. That's why I like KK. That's why I like her.
Yeah, see, but now my grandson, he gonna get that sucker up. Y'all don't pass the ball to him. When he get it next time, he gonna shoot it.
He got that from Papa.
Yep, he did. Yep, he did. I want him to stay that way too. I want him to let that sucker loose. So that's all part of it. I just like a jump shooter. I do, and I like Paige Bucher's all-round game. I really do. And the fact that she's overcome the adversity that she's overcome to lead UConn. I was like people who hated Krzyzewski. I didn't have anything against Krzyzewski because I remember him going to my AD said, "This man turned your basketball program around in a season. It didn't take him 2 or 3 years. He turned it around in a season. Y'all need to give him an extension and a raise." And I was like, whoa, I appreciate that. Didn't happen, but I appreciate that.
Try our INSiiGHTS mobile apps and have your own personalized content experience with our exclusive content. We developed an interactive experience as easy and diversified as Netflix. You have exclusive features showing access premium features, behind-the-scenes content and programs only available on our mobile apps and our streaming Roku channel. INSiiGHTS apps give you our content in your hands while INSiiGHTS Roku is on your big screen. Locally owned. Globally known. INSiiGHTS.
Join us on Faith TV on INSiiGHTS Roku. Anytime you need to feel the word, that you need uplifting, go to INSiiGHTS YouTube or mobile apps and feel His Spirit lift yours up. Pray with us on Faith TV and allow His Spirit to comfort you. I have been sent to help you find your way. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Faith TV on INSiiGHTS.
Time out. Time out. This is the coach. I'm a part of the INSiiGHTS Mick and Rick show. Now when I can get Rick out of that cup, I get good discussion from him about the hottest sports topics. But we do keep it straight, no chaser. The more he turns that cup up, them words come out faster than a chicken pecking up corn. I'm just saying, or trying to say, what the damn hell? Just join us on the Mick and Rick show.
For a limited time only, the first 500 downloads of the INSiiGHTS app will get free premium content for life. Watch the Mick and Rick show, Black History Moments, Remembering the Legends, INSiiGHTS Magazine, Faith TV, along with the Game of the Week series. See INSiiGHTS creative content with skits from the Church Sisters, students in generations and more. The INSiiGHTS
Like us on Facebook.
I liked it on Facebook.
Follow us on Twitter. INSiiGHTS.
Yeah.
2 I's in the middle. INSiiGHTS.
All right, y'all.
Yeah, can I get this? Hey, lawyer, can you sue a daggone meme or because this coach dude? I'm getting tired of. Hey, look, I'll talk to you in a minute, man. Hey, I'll call you. Your time's coming back. Leave me in my cup alone, okay?
At least you got an INSiiGHTS cup.
Of course. You see it? Y'all see it? Jeez,
That'd be funny, boy. Say, once Rick start getting in that cup, the show get funnier and funnier.
What the damn hell, man?
That's your boy there. That's your boy there, boy. So you gonna sue the A1 people, huh?
Yeah, someone's got to get it.
Somebody got to get it. Well, I gotta remind y'all, make sure on your favorite podcast, wherever you get your podcast from, you find our shows and programs on it. iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Spotify, Amazon. You got them on there. Apple.
But this is the easiest way. The app.
I'm with you there.
Easiest way right there.
Yeah.
You keep the phone. You have the phone with you 24/7, folks. You got it. You sleep with it right beside you. Just pick it up. It's okay. Download it. It's free right now.
And there, Rick, there you go. I see you. Live telecast.
That's what I'm saying.
And you know, we got the Claflin Athletic Show. And some of the coaches, not all of them, some of the coaches have downloaded the app. So when they're recruiting, they pull it out, show it to their parents and the recruits. It's not many schools that they can go on there. Got a Roku station. Your school got its own day, got a weekly show. Anywhere in the country, you could see it and find out what your team is doing and how your son or daughter is doing.
91 million. 91 million. Roku. It's a no-brainer.
No brainer. Rick, I got people I golf with. They want to know about the Claflin Golf Tournament. Talking about, man, they golf at Santee. That is a gorgeous course. And they got some friends of theirs that's from your area, from Baltimore and Washington area. They're going to meet in Santee at the Claflin Golf Tournament. I got some guys here who talking about going. I mean, they say, man, that course over there is gorgeous. They say it's like a golfer's paradise. golfers, that's what golfers do. They travel to different places to go to different golf courses and see different things. What can I say? I appreciate Claflin. We did a show. Guy name is Arthur Doctor. Got his doctorate. Doctor. I thought it was an April Fool joke. Man, they just opened up a brand new student center at Claflin in Orangeburg, South Carolina. They put a movie theater in there because there's no movie theater in Orangeburg. The closest place to watch a movie was Columbia, South Carolina. Claflin has its own movie theater. Then in their gaming room, EA Sports put all these game stations in there for them free. Why? Claflin had a student that won the Madden National Tournament from Claflin. Went to the to the Super Bowl as his reward. He's now working with EA Sports, traveling, playing gaming professional as a professional. And they now sponsored teams out of Claflin. And we've been trying to get a hold of the young man to do a story on him because we just think that's a winning combination. Who would have thought that from Claflin? And for the time all the parents and grandparents tell you, boy, stop playing them games. Yeah, you need to stop. You need to get off that game. Put that game down. You ain't gonna make no money doing that. Wrong. There are people making a living from it.
Yes, indeed.
Rick, who's gonna win the women for you?
South Carolina.
I hope so. Everybody in the family's picked them to win. A couple of their games have been close. Have been closer than we thought. I just wonder for real, like we had on the special, if she's going to be able to keep them together with the 6'5" girl declaring for the NBA draft and she had eligibility. Now, will she replace her? Yeah, absolutely. She replaced 3 first-round draft picks from last year. And she had that sophomore on there that started playing a lot this year that dunks. So, I mean, she has some talent.
Mm-hmm.
People
so want to play with her.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. The
Yeah,
UConn and Iowa, that's going to be a good game.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to watch that.
Oh, that should be a shootout there. One thing I know, UConn is going to be prepared. They're going to be well coached now. They're going to be prepared. They're going to be prepared.
I believe.
And I like the battle of the big men in the big one, huh?
If two teams are tight, I always lean to coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Gino, with that experience, especially the championship experience.
So you got 2 schools represented on the men and the women. How do you handle that if you're the administrator, you're the university president, or how do you decide which game you go to?
You can do both.
Well, if you were Hampton's president, you could do both because he had a private jet. He'd get in one and go to the other one.
Hey, Spirit Airline works.
Spirit Airline works for little guys like you. The big guys are like putting us. We looking like your boy when he had Bubba Smith in the car seat. He'd take the front seat out, sit in the back and drive from the back seat. That's what we look like in Spirit. But when you see how cheap the flights are, you just pull them knees up in your chest and squinch up and get in that seat in Spirit. If I get say $250, you get on in there and hold your breath.
Take small breaths.
They say. Oh, for those who didn't go see it, you might. Well, my grandson had me at Godzilla and King Kong. So And Jeremiah was sitting there. He said, Papa, am I talking too much? Because he was talking nonstop. I kept trying to give him popcorn and Raisinets, but it didn't quiet him down. He talked through that. But he gave me the rundown on the parts I didn't see in the first one. But if you want to get lost, go see Dune. Woo, that thing is, man, there's a lot going on in that movie. I had to go back and watch the first one. I'm like, man, there's so much stuff in there. I don't know who's with who. Oh, and they told me my Cleveland people already hit me up. They said the name of that corned beef place is Slimers. He said, Coach, don't be playing it off. It's Slimers. They need to tell people, man, the corned beef sandwich is so thick, you can't even hold it in one hand. You got to hold it with two hands. You have to bite it in pieces. You can't open your mouth wide enough to bite it. And Slimers, they lined up outside the store, down the hall. Woo. Woo. Sports Diva said, talking about Coach giving movie reviews. Stop it, Sports Diva. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
What about the men's tournament?
I tell you, I like the big guys. You know, I don't really care who wins. I just want to see some good basketball. I kind of like North Carolina State. The big man that came to play now. And I like the two big guys. I like the two big burly guys. And see how they fight against each other with different strategies. I do want to see that. You know, I wish Chris Parker was playing more for Alabama. I would be pulling for Alabama. You know, you always got to pull for the home team.
That's gonna be a hell of a game.
Yeah. Yeah. Get your popcorn and your butter and your popcorn salt. You ain't got to move.
All weekend.
This INSiiGHTS. This is Mick and Rick. Hey, we appreciate y'all being with us and all the support that you continue to give us. We really, really do. Without you, we would be nothing.
Stay up to date with the latest from INSiiGHTS. Visit our website at INSiiGHTS.com. Two I's in the middle, INSiiGHTS.
INSiiGHTS is a copyright of Mac4 Enterprises, a Florida corporation. This broadcast is produced under the exclusive ownership of Mac4 Enterprises and is the intellectual property and trademark of Mac4 Enterprises. Comments of the host and other individual speakers on INSiiGHTS represent their independent thoughts and representation.
We appreciate you, each and every one of you. If you know Earl Hankerson, show him some love. You know, whenever you lose a family member, a close person in your family, it takes a while to get used to it. But Earl, our hearts and prayers are with you.
Miss you, Earl. Cross with you, bro.
All right, y'all. See you next week. We'll be arguing about if the right team won.